Hey guys, Matt here, and doing another follow-up video. So if you've watched any of my videos, I recently sent out a 4-book CBCS submission. It was for 2-day modern, so in essence it's supposed to take 2 days once they get it to grade it and send it back. I wanted to test it out to see. I've had some pretty good luck with submissions to CBCS. I still send to CGC, but you know, with the backup, CBCS has also done a pretty good job with turnaround. So my first time submitting to them for a 2-day modern, I submitted the order on June 9th, June 10th, and then obviously packed it up, shipped it out, and it was received by CBCS on June 16th. And I just got back today my 4 books. I opened the box to make it easy, but I figured I would go over. I will probably put a link up above, so if you want to watch the 4-book submission and all, you can, but these are obviously the grades. One of the things I've learned with the 4 books, or I should say with the 2-day modern, is you can't do a pre-screen. So CBCS is really nice in the fact that you can pre-screen each book if you're submitting in like a regular tier for whatever grade you want. So if you want a 9.8, you can submit it for a 9.8 pre-screen, a 9.6, a 9.4, and it can be, each book can have a different pre-screen. Whereas when I send to CGC, I do a 25 book pre-screen. I have to pick one grade, and they all have to either qualify for that grade or higher to get slapped. That's not the case with CBCS, which is really nice if you may want to send in a book and you say, look, if it's a 9.6 on this book, I'll take it higher. And another book, you say it's got to be at least a 9.2, depending on the year. So you do have that option. But with the 2-day modern ones that I submitted, you do not have that option. So you submit it, it's getting graded. So it's just something to keep in mind. It's $40 a book. And while some people obviously will say, you know, that's more than I want to spend, you know, depending on the nature of what you want to do with some of the books, if you're going to sell them, if you just want to get it slabbed right away because something's hot, you know, this is a really good option. You know, I now can say I kind of utilize both. I'm going to do another CBCS submission, I believe, you know, in the coming week or so. I'm also going to be trying to prepare another 25 book submission before the end of the month, because I try and do a 25 book each month. So once we get through this incredibly good tape and packing job that they did, I'm going to show you off the books and we'll go over the grades. I submitted 4 books. I can tell you that 3 of the 4 books, you know, I thought were 9.8 contenders. One particular book that I know I submitted, which was a 0.1, had a defect that I was aware of. It had a corner color breaking defect. So I was interested to see what CBCS would grade that as, you know, how much they would take off for that kind of defect. So, you know, it would be a good indicator for me as to at least how they grade. So let me see if I can get these 4 books out, and as you can tell, they are really nicely wrapped, and we will go through them. I also have some, I also have one book I bought slabbed that I'd like to show off at the end, and then I do have some pickups that I can go over as well. But let's start with the first one, and this is, okay, Black Widow number 7. Came back in a 9.8. This is obviously a new one, and they already note on the label the first appearance of Apogee, which is a new character, new appearance. I mean, this book just recently came out, and I figured it would be a nice one to submit, and they do note it on the label. I don't know if CGC is doing that. I've had a lot of newer books that I send in right away. They don't typically get that first appearance label for some time. It's nice to see that CBCS does do that. Again, this is, if you haven't seen their cases, really nice. You can get the grader's notes right here. They are free. So there's a lot of nice things going on with CBCS, and if you haven't tried them, it's worth a shot. I'm not saying, there are people who are dedicated to CGC, there are dedicated to CBCS, or maybe some other companies that may be out there. I'll tell you that between CGC and CBCS, I think they're both very worthy in grading and how they do it. So this is the book, Black Widow #7. You can probably still get this at your LCS, and this came back in a 9.8. I'm going to use my wife's chair so I can put this down. All right, next book. All right, so here it is. So Marvel .1, wow, 9.0. Okay, so I'm going to go over this one a little bit with you and see, and I can even see if I can pull up the grader's notes so we're all on the same page as to this particular book and its grade. So let's do this. I'm going to see if I can pull it up here so I can see the grades. Okay, so first of all, this is the first appearance of Nova, Sam Alexander. It's noted on the label. It did come back white pages, as I would expect. And this particular book, just so you know, I had it pressed, and this was submitted to CGC for a 9.8. And when I got it back, I had noticed in the bottom, and I will try and see if you can see it, there is a color break right there. And it's basically looks like some blunt damage on the book. Other than that, the book looks really nice. And even at a 9.0, I mean, I think this is a pretty nice 9.0. So with the notes here, it's noting as light spine stress. I don't know really how you can tell that, and I don't think you're going to be able to see it, but it doesn't look like there's a real amount of spine stress. That may be a little nitpicky, but that's just my opinion. I'm not a professional grader. And then it says impact bottom right corner with small corner crease breaks color. Obviously, I agree with that. That's there. It's evident. So that took it down all the way to a 9.0. So, at least you have an idea that if you've got that color breaking crease in that corner, and potentially a light spine stress, I really don't see it. That's a 9.0. That's, to me, I would think that'd be a 9.4, even a 9.2, but I would still think it's still in a nice category of 9.4, but it did come back a 9.0, so it is what it is, but it gives you guys an idea of how they grade, and that is the only defect that I could see on the book. So, they're not easy either with CBCS grading. I can at least tell you that from what I'm seeing. Next book. All right. So this is We Live #5. This is the second printing on this one. I wanted to submit this. This book in the first printing raw, I think was going for about $25 to $40. So I was able to get a second print, and I haven't necessarily read the story, so I've got to go and see if I can just read it digitally and see. But I wanted to submit it. Like I said, I wanted to find a couple books to test this out and see, how we did and compare it. This one came back a 9.8. There is some scuffing on the cover with some, scratches. I don't know if you can see them or you will see them, but there is some slight scuffing. Nothing that bothers me. That's not a main thing. Some scratches on the case, but I mean, the case itself is very solid. These are really nice cases. I do like the CBCS cases. I've read a lot of the comments and responded to most of you. I know some people are a fan of this label being the way it is. Others are not. To each their own. I don't have a problem either way. The label. I personally would like to see some of the font maybe a little different, a little bit more centered and bolded, and just a little different font. But the label itself, I really don't have a huge problem with. So 9.8 in this particular book. And the last one we sent in, this is win number 1, the Peach Momoko sketch. And this one came back a 9.8, which is fantastic. This is the Sanctum Comics, Sanctum Centaurium variant. First appearance of Wind and the Bandaged Man, and this is the Virgin cover. This is a Tinian story, and this is the back, just so you can kind of see. And it shows here the Sanctum Centaurium, so you can kind of see the store exclusive. This was just a really nice cover book. I did think this was going to be, these all were going to be candidates for 9.8s other than the 0.1. And it looks like that was correct. I just didn't think that the 0.1 would get such a low grade for that one defect. So those are the 4 books I submitted. You know, you win some, you lose some, but I don't think overall that was bad. Fast turnaround, really fast turnaround. It's funny because I submitted another CBCS order, regular submission, and that one has still not been checked in because I usually get an email. That's one of the nice things about CBCS. As the books go through the process, you get emails, unlike CGC. So that is something to take note if you like to be up to date. You know, you don't have to log in or notified anything. CBCS does notify you when it's received, when it's processed, when it's graded, and when it's shipped. It's really nice. I do like that process. So those regular book submissions did not even get processed yet. I had emailed CBCS just to find out why, considering those books were sent in last month. These books were sent in June 16th, and they said simply because I did the 2-day turnaround, they are handling those faster. So it's important to know if you're sending in books, they're opening it, I'm assuming, looking at it and saying, oh, that's a regular submission, we'll put that to the side, and pushing these 2-day submissions up first. So just to consider that you're not going to send in, at least from what I'm understanding, a 2-day submission and worry that it's going to take a month to get opened and processed, you know, before they get to it, because I'm at least not experiencing that based on what I did. My May submission is still sitting there, and this one went like that, and I got that back. So from June 16th when they received it to the 25th today, you just really can't ask for better than that for a submission. So I'm going to try that again with some books, and I'll probably do a video on it. I did want to show you another book I picked up. I bought this one slabbed. This is Something is Killing the Children. This is number 13. This is another Sanctum Sanctorium exclusive variant cover, and this one is a 9.9. So, you know, I got a little happy with, you know, when I sent in my Thor, and it came back, my second print, Thor number 6, and it came back a 9.9. So, you know, I got the itch to get another one, and I found this is at a good price, and anything Something Killing the Children that I can get in a 9.9, I'll take all day, every day. So those are the books, the graded books that I've got. I'm going to do another video for the CBCS and the CGC submissions that I will do. And what I'm going to do now is show you some pickups that I got and just go through so you can see some new covers that are out, some older covers maybe that might be good. Most of these are probably newer books, so let's go through. So this one's Gamma Flight number 1. This is the cover A. And this is one where they're gonna, looks like, reintroduce or possibly reintroduce Scar, the son of Hulk. So I've got cover A, and I did pick up a ratio variant cover that hopefully I will be able to show you in this batch. Another one that's really popular right now, Stray Dogs. This is number 5. This is the horror variant. I have been trying to collect all of the horror variants. I believe I am missing 2 of them. The It cover, which is for number 5, is a, I'm trying to remember the store exclusive on, I think it's a Wanted Comics one. Don't hold me to that. But I haven't been able to get a hold of that right now. So this one I was able to pick up, and I even got 2 copies. These right now are selling raw for about $15. I got this particular one from Comic Pro. Jason on Instagram. If you're looking for someone to work with to get certain covers or comics, both graded and raw, he's fantastic. I've been working with him for several months now, and I've purchased graded and raw comics for him. I absolutely recommend him. I will leave his Instagram ID below in the description and such, and I just recommend, if you need a book, go out and talk to him, because he's been able to get me some really good books that we're gonna go over and show, and obviously this was one of them that I was able to get a copy of. This is the one per store exclusive, and this is another Something is Killing the Children book. I was able to get this from Jason. This is a really nice book. I'm going to send this out. I'm probably going to send this out with the CBCS to potentially get it graded. Next one I got, also from Comic Pro, is the one per store he was able to get me of the Static. And this one has been just a really nice cover that they had in my LCS. It was gone. So thank you to Jason, who was able to get me that. And he was also able to get me the variant of the new book. This is Good Luck. This is a really nice particular cover, and I'm not sure if this is a one per store or a ratio one, but it's definitely not one of the cover A, cover B ones. And this one was really nice looking, and I'm glad I was able to pick this up from him. Some other pickups with the Something is Killing the Children. This is cover A for number 17. I believe this starts with the origin of Erica Slaughter. I was able to get the B cover. This is the glow in the dark cover as well. I did pick up a couple of copies of that. I was also able to get, and this was from Unknown Comics. I was able to get Stray Dogs number 1. This is the 1 in 25. This is the acetate cover. This one has just blown up. I had been able to pick this up for $25, and now this cover is selling within the past week or so for, I believe, $100 raw for this book. There is a retailer exclusive book on number 1. I wasn't able to get that, but the 1 in 25 is definitely the one of the bigger books for the series. Sticking with the Stray Dog series, this is number 1, but this is the Silence of the Lambs horror variant. As I said, I'm trying to collect all the horror variant covers. I really like that. I have the Poltergeist one in a 9.8 from a CBCS, and so I'm probably going to send in the horror covers to CBCS so I can see if I can collect them all in a 9.8 and have the whole run. Just some other books. Spidergeddon, Force number 1. Really nice cover. I don't know that there's anything specific to some of the books like this, but you know, some of these are for cover purchases for me. The next book is one I have been kind of really specking hard on, and this is A-Force. And this is A-Force number 1. This is the first appearance of Singularity. This is the cover A. There are multiple covers for number 1, but this book I have already in a 9.8. I have a variety of different cover variants. This book in a 9.8 is approximately going for about $150 to $165. So I was able to snag this book for $4. I actually got 2 copies. So whenever I can do that and slab that, I mean, to me, it's just a win, even at a 9.6. Next one I got is Star Wars Darth Vader, number 1. This is a ratio variant, excuse me. Really just a nice cover. This is a first appearance, I believe, but I do not recall at this time. You can leave a comment down below on that one, but this is just a gorgeous, really nice cover. Next one is an Art Adams one, and this is Champions number 1. This is the Art Adams variant. Anyone who knows Champions number 1, it's the volume 2, the more modern one, has a plethora of variant covers. This one was a ratio one with Art Adams. Art Adams is doing a signing at CGC. I just sent in a ton of books for signings. Simonson, Art Adams, Kuber, just a host of different ones. So hopefully we'll be getting those back, and I would say the next 2 to 3 months, and we will see how we did with those when they come in. I think I sent about 8 different books. This one had just come in. I'm debating whether I'm going to send this one out as well, but it is a really nice Wolverine and Captain America cover. Next one is Eve. This is Eve #1. This is the second print. This book has picked up as far as some of the ratios on cover A. It looks like a good read. I have not had a chance to dive into it yet, but I haven't been able to snag a real, just a cover A, so I was able to pick up the second printing. So we'll see how that goes. Another one is Captain America. This is #7. This is I'll call it the black and white, even though it's really not. It's almost like a sepia cover one. They also have a full colored variant, but I really just wanted, I really like this color look with that. Almost like it's almost like the sketch black and white type thing. So we picked up one of those. Let's see, what else do we have? So I also picked up Scumbag #1. I haven't really heard too much on it, but I was able to get this for 99 cents. So when you get a #1, even if it's an indie book for that cheap on a near mint, I figured it was worth the pickup. And if any of you have read those, let me know if Scumbag is good, if Eve is good. So we've got Star Wars, and this is Outnumbered, and this is issue #16. And this is basically a near mint copy, other than it has a small bend to the bottom right cover. So we're gonna see if we get this pressed, if how we can do on this. But these Dark Horse Star Wars ones are worth picking up if you can, because a lot of them have heated up substantially. So next one, just a really nice cover that I wanted to pick up. This is Gwenpool. This is the holiday special #1. This is, I believe, a mid-tab comics variant, and this is just was a really nice cover, in my opinion, for her with Deadpool and in the background. So I was able to pick that up for about $4. All right, then I told you, let's see, I got another copy of the A-Force, which we talked about. Next one was X-Men #1, and this is on the Hickman run. This particular cover, I had, this is my second one. The first one that I picked up of this cover had some damage to it, so I was able to kind of just wait and see, and found this particular one on sale for a couple bucks, and wanted to pick it up and see if I can submit that later on. Next one, Amazing Spider-Man #4. This has got the Fantastic Four on the cover. I just, really like the look of this particular one. This is a variant one. Sometimes I can't always get cover A and cover B, and people kind of pass on the variant covers, and I'm happy to snag them up. Next one again is new one that just came out this week, Captain Marvel 29. This is the villains cover. This is cover A. Nothing too significant about the book, but it is part of the, I have on my pull box, I do have Captain Marvel currently on there, so I was able to pick up that. 2 more covers. Like I said, If Something Is Killing the Children, that's the B cover. Another Something Is Killing the Children. Here's that other Stray Dogs I was able to pick up. And last but not least, this is the Gamma Flight #1 variant cover. I believe this is the 1 in 25. This is the homage to Where the Wild Things Are, I believe it is. It was a kid's book that I grew up with. And you know, once I see it from nostalgia, I wanted to grab it. So I was lucky enough that I was able to get a copy. This book, not cheap. So I had to snag this one for $35, and I believe it's going for somewhere between $40 and $50 right now for a 1 in 25. There is a 1 in 50, and in my opinion, this is just a nicer looking book. The 1 in 25 is a lot nicer than the 1 in 50, but you know, that's my opinion. So that's it for the CBCS and the haul that I have for right now this week. I appreciate everybody watching. Please do all the YouTube things. Subscribe, like, leave a comment down below. I try to answer everybody's comments and all, and I'm always interested in what you guys think about, you know, CBCS and the slabs and the grades and the raw books. I know everybody has their personal preference as to whether slab, raw, or what. The only thing I would tell you is if you love your comics like I do and treat them like investments, then you should store and maintain them like investments. And that's why all of my stuff, you know, is bagged and boarded in Mylars, in fullbacks, or in these thicker backing boards from like Comic Pro that I've been utilizing. They're really nice as well. So thank you guys all for watching. I should hopefully pull up another video shortly, maybe by the end of the weekend. I'm going to try and get everything ready. Another 25 book submission going to CGC, and then a couple books also going back to CBCS for that 2-day turnaround submission. So thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.